The legendary Ford Bronco is back. It has cool retro styling, innovative features, and we cannot forget about the impressive off-road capabilities. HotCars is going to show you what we love and hate about the 2021 Ford Bronco. The Bronco is here, and we take a look at some of the most amazing features that the car has to offer. The interior of the car might be simple, but it's spacious and under the hood. Well, let's take a look at some of the main features that this car has to offer. The first positive is the engine, transmission, and overall performance of the car. Let's start with what we like about the car. The engine. You have the choice of a 4-pot or V6 engine. Each engine option is strong within itself. The first one is a turbocharged 2.3-liter inline-4 that makes 300 horsepower. The engine sounds awesome and can take you and your family on adventures you always dreamed of. The second option is a twin-turbo 2.7-liter V6 that generates 330 horses. To be honest, there's not much of a difference when it comes to the power of the engine options, so either engine will do you well. A positive about each engine is the lower speed option. It allows you to tackle obstacles at a low speed. This makes the ride up mountains smooth and doable for almost anyone. Other noteworthy equipment options include 35-inch mud-terrain tires, bead-lock capable wheels, electronic locking front and rear differentials, long travel dampers, and a sway bar disconnect feature. This gear will help you get through your camping trip with ease. Another great thing about the Bronco is that there are a lot of options and customization pieces for you to choose from. You can get a 2-door or a 4-door car. You get to choose between a soft or hardtop, depending on what you want the car for. There are removable body panels that make the car feel more open and free on the road. You have a rack built into the top of its dashboard that allows smartphones and GoPros to be mounted. When exposed to the elements, the cabin can be protected with the available rubberized flooring and marine-grade vinyl upholstery. You can also get leather seating surfaces if you prefer leather to the normal material. Your Bronco can be as unique as you like, which, in our eyes, is a bonus. The safety features are top class. Buying a car that has great safety features is a must these days. The Ford Bronco comes standard with safety features that you know you can rely on. Some of the safety features include automatic high beams and parking sensors, lane departure warning and lane keeping assist, blind spot monitoring and rear cross traffic alert, as well as forward collision warning and automated emergency braking. The car is also equipped with equipment that makes low-speed rock crawling and trail driving much easier. In a car that's designed to take you through mountains and rough terrain, you need to know that the car has safety features that will help you keep control of the car. The look of the car is top-notch. We love the look of the car. At first glance, the car looks like $1,000,000. It's mean-looking, seems like it can take you on amazing adventures, and looks reliable. It just looks like an iconic Ford that you would be proud to showcase in front of your house. When you look at the car, you can see that Ford has leaned heavily on the first-generation 1963 to 1977 Bronco for stylistic influence. Yet, the new 2021 truck isn't an overdone retro pastiche like Ford's own 2002 to 2005 Thunderbird or the more successful, contemporized rebody like the 2005-2006 GT Supercar. The manufacturer built a fully boxed frame that looks like a brother of the Ranger. If you take a step back, it looks like as if they took all the great exterior features of the cars that came before, such as the F-150 Raptor, and have added them to this car. When you look at the car, you can't help but talk about the successor, such as the Ford Expedition. You catch yourself wondering, how did the successor end up looking less like an SUV and more like a mom van? Our final point on the positive list about the 2021 Ford Bronco is the fact that not only can you customize the interior of the car, but you can almost always customize anything that you want on the car. If you're using the car as a family SUV, you can keep the car standard. The tires and standard engine are more than good enough to get you and your family to your destination safely. If, on the other hand, you're an adventurer and want to make sure that this SUV will suit your hiking needs, there is an option out there for you to choose from. You have 2 tire options to choose from. The choice will come from whether you want to take the car off-roading or you simply want an SUV for fun. Another great option is the size of the infotainment system. Depending on the trim you choose, you can get an 8-inch or a huge 12-inch LED screen for you to navigate your infotainment system on. The infotainment features can use a bit of work. As we said earlier, the infotainment system can be customized, but the system is the first one on our hate list. The placement of the system isn't a bad place. It's easy to see and has easy access. The system supports a host of modern infotainment features that include Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and a subscription-based Wi-Fi hotspot. You do need to pay for some of these add-ons, which are features that you do get for free with other cars. The unit can be upgraded with other options such as built-in navigation, but this comes with an extra price. A lot of cars these days have navigation features pre-built into the software and are included in the price. You're paying around $29,000 to $62,000 for the car, so you would expect some of these features to be pre-built into the system at no extra cost. Removable doors and top. The idea of doors and tops coming off looks like it could be a cool feature. With that being said, an off-road car that can turn into a convertible does not look right. I mean, the mirrors stay in place when you remove the doors, which is a good safety feature to have. At least you can still see on the sides of you and behind you when you're driving. The issue comes in when you take the doors and top off and the weather changes. Putting everything back takes time, and even though the material in the interior of the car is waterproof to an extent and comes with a rubberized material to protect the interior, bad weather can still destroy the inside of the car. You're going to need to pay for the interior to get fixed, or you're going to have to stand out in a storm and reassemble your car. Another issue is the fact that nothing is protecting the passengers. If a rock slips when you're climbing, nothing is stopping that rock from hurting someone in the car. Taking your doors off only seems like a good idea if you want your car to look like a beach buggy and drive it on the sandy shores. The car has some overheating issues. You would not expect an SUV 4x4 to overheat when you're trying to drive it through rocky terrain, and yet it has been reported by more than one person that the car overheats when it's driving on rough surfaces. The car looks great, and for the most part, it does handle well on open roads and through a few rocks and mountains. But when you try to take the car on a cliff diving experience, the car seems to have an overheating issue. We're not a fan of the fact that the car does not have the liquid-cooled power transfer unit present in the Badlands trim. This means that if you want this car to climb mountains and adventure with you, the Badlands trim is not the right trim for you. The Bronco should be able to handle rough mountain climbing regardless of the trim that you choose. In this aspect, Jeep is still winning in our eyes, and the eyes of many 4x4 car enthusiasts. Our second final issue with the new 2021 Ford Bronco is the transfer case. The transfer case helps to distribute the power from the front and rear wheels. This will put your car into two-wheel drive or all-wheel drive. On a standard trim, you have three options: two-wheel drive, all-wheel drive high, and all-wheel drive low. You have to manually switch between two-wheel drive high as well as four-wheel drive high. This gives you another thing to worry about when you're driving on unusual terrain such as snow. It would have been nice if this changeover was done automatically so that your full focus could be on the rough road ahead of you. With that being said, if you pay more, you can get an automatic option. This will choose how the car will drive for you, either all-wheel or rear-wheel, depending on the terrain you're driving on. Unfortunately, the ratio for the automatic is lower than the standard transfer case. So, you might have to switch between the settings yourself to ensure that you get the safest and most comfortable ride anyway. And finally, the last thing on our list that we are not fans of is the interior finishes. There are nice finishes to some aspects of the car. The knobs have rubber grips which feel great, and the gear shift is nice to hold on to and easy to move. If you run your fingers across the top of the dash, you can feel that it is made from plastic. It sounds cheap, and it just does not feel nice on your hands. Another issue is the grab handle. When your passenger holds on to the grab handle during rough roads, it does not feel as secure and in place as you would like it to. Finally, the plastic around the cup holders in the front also feels a little suspicious and is not a nice texture to place your hand over. It almost gives you the same feeling as fingers on a chalkboard. Overall, the Bronco is back in action. Ford does provide a competitive limited and powertrain warranty that is similar to its rivals. It does, however, lack the complimentary maintenance that other competitors provide, which can be a turnoff for someone who wants more bang for their buck.